Hi, I'm Carcina.
Oh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
No one knows Carcino and none of these.
There's so much going on in the world, and I'm just giving my 2 cents on it. Go in and do a raid at someone's house, but you don't have an arrest warrant for them. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Klutch Sports representative, agent, whatever you want to call him, Rich Paul is, he's in the grease. Not by me. Wasn't my choice. I didn't make any plans to sabotage the man or have anything to do with it. But this man has got himself in a situation he probably can't get himself out of. You know how they say the chickens come home to roost? The things that you've done in your past come back to haunt you later on in life. This is one of those moments. This is one of those moments. Yes, sir. Like they say, sir, yes, sir. These are one of those moments because you never know when it's going to be your time. Like they say, your time to shine. This is one of those. See, Rich Paul and Klutch Sports hasn't been around 10 years. And they have represented a lot of clients in the NBA, but have they really done well for these clients in the NBA? And the clients that seem to have done well under Klutch Sports have been those who are been attached to LeBron James. A lot of people feel LeBron James run Klutch Sports because of Rich Paul, who's his friend who started this agency. And they say, well, LeBron really runs it, and Rich Paul's just a minion who does what LeBron says do. That is the word on the street. Now, as I unpacked a lot of this through the lawsuits that was filed against Klutch Sports for poaching talent, for doing a lot of backhanded things that they've done, the fact that Rich Paul wasn't negotiating contracts at all, that Tremini was doing this and he had to settle out of court privately with Tremini to stop him from telling the truth about what he was doing for Klutch Sports. The reason why now they're with another agency that handles the negotiations now and expanded their catalog. They got absorbed because they were losing money. Things you're never going to know about. Unless you're on the Patreon, then you already know. But let's get to it. Now, Norris Cole goes public on the OG's podcast. Remember, Norris Cole used to play with LeBron in Miami. He's the one throws that alley-oop to LeBron, and he dunks on Terry. He's from Ohio. Another Ohio basketball player. Made sense for him to sign with Klutch. And Norris Cole had a lot to say in his statement. I want to bring this up close so y'all can hear what he had to say, because this is very important.
Learn the hard lesson, the business of basketball, man. For y'all young fellas out there, when you have an agent, make sure you're involved in what's going on. Don't just let them handle stuff behind the scenes without you knowing. But it was my first time in free agency. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And so I had a powerful agent, and I let him do everything, all the negotiations. I didn't even think twice about it. But I did some bad negotiation. Just got caught what it is, and I caught wind of it late, and I ended up firing him. And when you fire a powerful agent, of course they're gonna save face, and that's what happened. And tried to make it seem like I was the greedy one, which in reality I wasn't.
Yeah, that ain't you.
And so, that's what happened. So I ended up having to take a deal in China for a couple months, and then got injured out there, rehab 8 weeks, came back and got a chance in OKC, the Russell Westbrook triple-double year.
Yes.
But it was tough after that because when someone tries to damage your name and your reputation, and they're a person that has leverage and has is looked at as a powerful agent, it's tough to kind of recover. But I was able to recover and still play, never missed no meals, family and everybody's still good.
Listen.
Pops still retired. I was able to get the house I've always wanted, the cars I've always wanted, things like that. So I was able to recover, but I missed out on a lot because of that. Probably missed out 70, 80 million because of that.
Wow.
70, 80 million. 70, 80 million. That's how much Rich Paul cost this man. $70, $80 million. And we're going to get into that because this goes right into the Noel situation, who sued Rich Paul for this. Now that man could have possibly had more money. Montrezl Harrell. All of these guys are losing hundreds of millions of dollars chasing around LeBron James' dreams or trying to basically favor LeBron. You see, this is the reality you're going to run into. Because this is why they don't have a lot of white clients that sign up with Klutch Sports. All those guys don't trust Rich Paul. The white clients, they know better. They run over and they start going to other people. They don't trust them. Mm-hmm. Why would you? What's there for you to trust? Oh, we're going to unpack all of it. Because I want you to understand what this is truly about. I don't want you to have any misconstruement about what's happening here. I want you to understand what the parallels here. While they're all sitting here catering to LeBron James like he's a giant, the man who failed in Los Angeles, and nobody was standing up to him. Now, here we are. And right when he said those words, you could hear the people just heart drop because they know what time it was. And as soon as he said that, it is like everybody's heart just sank.
And I want to be clear, like I'm not saying that nobody's above critique. LeBron's not, I'm not, nobody is above critique. But I'm telling you, it's a deeper thing. And I feel the effects of it because I've had NBA current players and former players involve themselves in a recruiting process with a kid that's not their son and purposely push a kid to a different agency because of their disdain for LeBron, and I'm his guy. So I know what happens and what's to be true. So that's when I
Someone
talk
else's success makes you feel bad about you.
After hearing that whole story, I think the biggest lesson isn't just about basketball. It's about ownership, no matter how.
And this biggest lesson is don't sign with Rich Paul or people like Rich Paul. And it's unfortunate because he's a black man. But he's a black man that didn't even graduate from college, does not have a law degree. I don't want to sign with a guy like him. A guy who's a street hustler. I don't want to sign with the hustler. I want to sign with somebody who understands business of basketball, who's been doing this for years, who went to school for this. I don't want somebody who's friends with the best player in the league and he gave his boy a job. I don't want to sign with him. And you deceive young black players who just say, oh, man, that's Rich Paul. Man, that's the superpower agent. Because they're young. They're 18, 19 years old. That's what they know. That's because the media been feeding this. So you go and sign with Rich Paul, and it's nothing beneficial really coming your way. He can't get you nothing that you couldn't have got on your own. And that's where the problems come in at. This is where the difficulties come in at. And everybody start looking weird in the light. Yeah, everybody start getting weird. They start moving weird. They start acting weird. And the moment that start happening, it's already going left for you. Because it's bigger than that. The industry know it's bigger than that. That's why they stay quiet about it. If I lost that kind of money, I'd be on Rich Paul porch right now. Straight up. Now, I've looked at a lot of scenarios that they put in place. And they said, hey, this is what it is. This is how we're moving. This is the energy we're putting out into the world. This is the rollout. This is how we want people to look at it. This is why everybody who don't know, they're going to fall into the trap. Got to look out for the pitfalls in the industry. No, you got to look out for people like Rich Paul and the games that they're going to play. Because is he there to service you or is he there to service LeBron James? That's what you're going to have to be balanced with and dealing with. Where do your needs come in at? And when you need them the most, is he going to be around? Is Rich Paul going to be reliable for you down the stretch? You think so? I don't think so. I don't think that player or that person has your best interest in mind. So, of course, he's going to be moving in a different direction. Of course, he's going to be moving on a different wavelength. You cost this man hundreds of millions of dollars. I wouldn't want anything to be dealing with you anyhow. Imagine costing somebody that kind of money. But like I said, it goes deeper than that. What's his name? Rollins, whatever, Noel. Remember when he came out and sued in 2017 for $70 million? You see, he rejected a $70 million offer from the Dallas Mavericks after Rich Paul convinced him to drop his former agent and bet on himself and go for a max deal. See, Noel signed a 1-year offer, right? Instead of, he suffered a thumb injury and bounced around at lower value, and he never got the deal he was supposed to get. He sued him for $58 million in breach of fiduciary duty and negligence. He claimed that Rich Paul was unresponsible when doing the negotiations and failed to pass along interested people and offers from other teams like the 76ers and the Clippers. Now, the Clippers had the best offer, and he wanted to go to the Clippers. They had a need for him. They was like, man, why didn't you take the deal? But see, LeBron's on the Lakers. If they get Nerlens Noel as a piece over there, that helps the Clippers beat the Lakers even more, stacking them up. And LeBron definitely did not want him over there. He wanted him on the East. Did not want Noel in the West. Rich Paul does not even look at these offers for him. He had $70 million already on the line for Dallas. Clippers was offering him more than that. Rich Paul never responded back to the offer. And only when he talked to the Clippers, they was like, man, what happened? We wanted you. Rich Paul decided not to even share this information with his client and had him play for pennies on the dollar. Mm-hmm. So we keep going. Montrezl Harrell. Trez had a deal with Rich Paul and then he got rid of Rich Paul. Then he re-signed with him again when he wanted to go from the Clippers to the Lakers. Once again, this was Sixth Man of the Year, Montrezl Harrell, for the Clippers. He don't re-sign with the Clippers. He listens to Rich Paul, play for minimum amount of money with LeBron James when he could have got a max deal, talking about 60, 70 million, probably plus with the Clippers. You keep this guy playing with LeBron for like 4 to 5 million. This is going to be better for your career because y'all going to go for a championship. You playing with LeBron. It's going to bring you more sponsors. It's going to bring you this. And then other teams going to see you. Let's just say it didn't go well. And next thing you know, he was being paid like he was a lower tier client. And all the focus was on him. He had a 2-year, $19 million deal with the Los Angeles Lakers, when he could have had 58 to 60 to 70 million for a 3-year, 4-year deal anywhere else. Play here 2 years with LeBron, and it's going to boost you up. It boosts him down and boosts him out the league. Montrezl Harrell is gone. I think he's probably in the big 3 now or something. But unbelievable. this isn't reason for anybody to be upset or you see this happening, other players from other teams who said, no, man, I'm good on this Rich Paul thing. We'll take it even further than that. Let's take it to another guy you know. OG ain't nobody. Y'all like OG, right? Where's that spray? I'm going to take care of all y'all living in here rent free. So OG ain't nobody was supposed to sign with the, guess what, 76ers. The 76ers had a deal for OG for over 200 plus million. They knew he wasn't going to sign, but they had the deal on the table. Rich Paul was representing OG at the time. Once again, he's getting ready to sabotage OG. The New York Knicks is trying to get OG and put him on the team. Rich Paul has other plans. He doesn't want him on the Knicks. He wants him to go to the team he wants him to go to. And take, guess what? Less money. Sound familiar, don't it? Take this little deal here, play here, and you're going to come out on top. Now, they never had a public blowing up, but it was clear OG had other people, management, that was watching how this thing was progressing. And they were keeping an eye on the negotiations and wanted to know what was happening with other teams. And they were saying, how do you feel about going out west? Rich Paul is trying to, instead of giving him the best offer, he's trying to get him an offer that clears a path or keeps him out of the LeBron fray. Him going to New York, what does that have to do the way it bothers Rich Paul? At that time, Rich Paul and the New York Knicks, Klutch Sports and the New York Knicks had problems. There were no Klutch representatives over there anymore. They felt like they were all pushed out the door when New York used to be their feeding ground. Leon Rose and Klutch haven't been eye to eye for a very long time. Leon used to represent LeBron and so on and so on, right? Rich used to be under Leon like a little kid. So now he sees what's happening. Okay, LeBron wants to let Rich Paul represent him and don't want to pay me the 4%. Whatever. I get it. Now, this is only going to mean more of a problem. So, after firing Rich Paul, and deciding he was going to go with CAA, he took back his power and said, OG said, I'm firing you and I'm rolling with him. And the reason I'm firing him and going with you is because this dude's screwing up. And one thing about this younger generation, they talk way more with each other than all these other guys do with their own teammates. These guys talk more to other people on the other teams. Way more than everybody else would be comfortable with. Back in the 90s, early 2000s, you couldn't do that. It had to be the off season. You couldn't be on there fraternizing with them, just talking on the phone, chatting, and your team was cool with that. They ain't even like y'all having dinner. What you having dinner with him for? We play them tomorrow. I hate them. We trying to beat them. We got a rivalry. Like, they take that personally. No fraternizing. Pat Riley had a rule. No fraternizing. You talk to him on your time, not mine. That's how he operated. Oh, yeah.
What's good, everyone? Welcome.
For sure. So when you try to get people attention and want them to do the right thing for the purposes that
I learned the hard lesson, the business of basketball, man.
Oh, yeah. Y'all just got here? All right. Mm-hmm. I'll blow it up for you so you can see it. The OG's podcast.
For y'all young fellas out there, when you have an agent, make sure you're involved in what's going on. Don't just let them handle stuff behind the scenes without you knowing.
Norris Cole was the 28th pick overall in the 2011 NBA draft by the Miami Heat. And he would spend the first 3 years of his NBA career having a huge success, going to 3 straight NBA finals, winning the first 2 and then losing the third against San Antonio. He was a member of that Heatles team, the Miami Heat, with Chris Bosh, LeBron James, and Dwayne Wade. And really, he was drafted and probably wasn't supposed to be able to play as soon as he did. But honestly, Norris Cole came in and shined and gave the team great moments, which had him set up to get a pretty good payday once his rookie contract was up. And he had Rich Paul as his agent, and he had some not so good things to say about the way his business was handled and also being blackballed once he actually had to fire Rich Paul.
I learned the hard lesson, the business of basketball, man. For y'all young fellas out there, when you have an agent, make sure you're involved in what's going on. Don't just let them handle stuff behind the scenes without you knowing. But it was my first time in free agency. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And so I had a powerful agent, and I let him do everything, all the negotiations. I didn't even think twice about it. But did some bad negotiation. Just got caught what it is, and I caught wind of it late, and I ended up firing him. And when you fire a powerful agent, of course they're gonna save face, and that's what happened. And tried to make it seem like I was the greedy one, which in reality I wasn't.
Yeah, that ain't.
And so, that's what happened. So I ended up having to take a deal in China for a couple months, and then got injured out there, rehab 8 weeks, came back and got a chance in OKC, the Russell Westbrook triple-double year.
Yes.
But it was tough after that because when someone tries to damage your name and your reputation, and they're a person that has leverage and has is looked at as a powerful agent, it's tough to kind of recover. But I was able to recover and still play, never missed no meals, family and everybody's still good.
Listen.
Pops still retired. I was able to get the house I've always wanted, the cars I've always wanted, things like that. So I was able to recover, but I missed out on a lot because of that. Probably missed out 70, 80 million because of that.
And that's the part that's heartbreaking. 70, 80 million lost. And when you lose 70, 80 million, all because of nonsense, all because one person got to play God, that's when it starts to really peel at your heart because you see the problem. You see what the scenario is. You know what the answers are going to be on the test. Like, what everybody's going to say. Right? Everybody knows what time it is. You be with LeBron, you could lose hundreds of millions of dollars signing with his agency. You could. That's all on the table. I'm not saying no other agency is crooked. Like, they're the only crooks out there. No, it's just that they're in the service of protecting LeBron James. They're not in the service of you. You don't make them any money, only LeBron. So that's their main focus. And guys have woken up. They tried to sign you off the fame of LeBron, but then blame LeBron for saying people that hate LeBron, they telling people not to sign with us because they don't like LeBron. No, that ain't the reason, buddy. Trae Young left y'all and went to CAA the same way OG did. Y'all didn't do anything for Trae Young. Then you tried to sabotage him. He was going to go to the West Coast, and y'all got him the deal to sign in Atlanta and sabotaged his deal to go to the West Coast 2 years ago. You didn't want him in the West. Y'all wanted Trae Young to be in the East. Saying, Bron's in the West. What team I can really get you on that's going to be great unless I get you on the team with Bron? And it's just not possible to get you on the team with Bron right now. So Trae Young was the odd man out when at that time he was an all-star and one of the hottest players in the league. And a team in the West wanted him, but it would have rivaled the Los Angeles Lakers in a way he was not ready for and did not like, meaning LeBron James. So he told Rich Paul, so that means Rich Paul don't like it. And you are at a standstill of saying, what's going to happen next? We just lost this guy. But yet, don't stop him from getting liquored up on stage at Fanatics.
Even saying,
Can't stop, won't stop. Then the biggest shoe drop for this bum. There's the biggest shoe. Anthony Edwards in 2023, he left right along with Jaden McDaniels. Now they both with WME, represented by Bill Duffy. Now, of course, you might be saying, why would Bill Duffy involve himself in something that's so remedial as this? This makes no sense. Well, it made no sense for them to do what they was doing. So now, it's somebody else's fault? I don't get it. How is it somebody else's fault? Ant-Man said, nope, I'm out. This is why he didn't go to Minnesota. Talking about LeBron go to Minnesota. So when all of this stuff was going down, right? Because they love to play victim. Oh, yeah, everybody do. Everybody a victim. People forget when the man says, this was the first time I've ever been a free agent. That's key. That man said, that's the first time I've ever been a free agent. So he had to learn on the fly so he would never make this mistake again. Now, you might say, well, why would he do that? Because it was vital. It was important. That's why people did things, because it was vital and it was very important at the time. Yeah, you know, this is what it's going to come down to, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately for some. This is what it's going to come down to. Oh no. Ant-Man wasn't going. Ant-Man's going to say, why am I going to put myself through that? If you're Ant-Man, why would you? It doesn't make any sense. Because if I'm Ant-Man, there's no way I'm even thinking about anything other than. So imagine after all of this, right? And you end up on the Pelicans. When LeBron goes back to Cleveland, you end up bouncing out the league, coming back in the league, going to OKC and all these different things. But here it is. You're now with the Pelicans in 2016. And you're coming back home to Cleveland. LeBron in Cleveland is the #1 team in the East. Who do you think they ran into? They ran into Norris Cole in the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, as we take a look here, I want y'all to see this education on the court. This is a man who's been screwed over and then lost about 50 to 60 million. Almost 80, he said, 70 to 80. He done missed out on. And he sees LeBron. And Kyrie Irving is out there guarding him. Kyrie don't know what's going on tonight. But this is a night he's sending a message. Norris Cole came out to send a message to LeBron and Rich Paul. For all them trying to blackball him, making sure teams don't sign him. They tried to get Luka to sign. Luka's not that stupid. Luka got somebody who speaks his language. You see what Norris Cole is doing? He's going right at LeBron and the Cleveland Cavaliers. It just kept getting worse and worse. So the more you think about it, the worse it became. For all parties involved, the more people resisted, the worse it was going to become. Look at Norris Cole. He was on a one-man mission. Back home in Ohio, got LeBron on Cleveland. You got him on the other side. And poor Kyrie Irving is a victim of a game he don't know what's going on. Kyrie is like, what is happening tonight? I have no idea what's happening tonight. Oh yeah, when they say it's up and it's up, that's what they mean. Yeah, look at it. Workout. Look, they can't even stop him. Swap. He should have Noel sued. Look at him. He like, whoo, unconscious. Unconscious. Oh, he was D'ing Bron up the whole nine. Cole was not playing. Poor Kyrie, man. He is stuck dealing with this. Tristan, you gonna come out and help on pick and roll? Oh, wow, really? You finna screen your guy off. Look, he couldn't even get a hand up. Kyrie like, Tristan, you a waste of space. Running a pick and roll with Tristan, good luck. Yeah, it was weird. It wasn't weird. They sabotaged him. This is what happens when you got Poole in the league. And the same thing us black folks fight against all the time. Here they are using it as a weapon. Look at this. Look at Norris Cole. Go ahead, Norris Cole. Pearl on him. Look at this. Nice pick. They didn't even step up. Like he couldn't pop from there. That's easy. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Norris Cole had to lead the NBA and play overseas and then go and finish his career in Puerto Rico and where he made he made good money. But he shouldn't have had to do that. Look, Kyrie taking it serious now. But dude done got hot. Bron did not take the assignment. Bron know what this is about. Bron is like, man, I don't even care. It ain't got nothing to do with me. It's like, all right then, Bron, here we go. Shot is up. Bam. Norris Cole. Look at the coach. What's going on, man? He is not passing the ball. Coaches, I can't say nothing because the shot going in, but we ain't moving the ball at all. We got to swing the ball around. It ain't that game, coach. It's personal. This game is personal. As he know, they going to get me out of the league, but they going to remember me. Oh, yeah. They going to remember this game. Wow. This the game that, I'm going to go at LeBron James and the whole Cleveland Cavs and let everybody know at hometown I'm the man. Come on. Come on. What you got? Come on. Who next? Line them up. Here we go. Come on, Kai. Stay with me. Oh, man, he came with a knee and everything. Damn, who was that? Wild ass dude. That must have been Verajah. Coming over there with a knee and everything. Look at his parents. Like, that's our boy. Yeah. Norris Cole, baby, getting it done. And that's what it is, man. That's what it's about. That's why nobody say anything, because there's nothing they can say, because they already know what it is. Maxie drinking the Kool-Aid. Of course, they gonna play the script. They gonna read the script. You seen Jaylen Brown read the script. They always reading the script. They don't know what time it is. They like, look, we know what's up. So we just gonna read the script the way they got it written, and we gonna roll. We gonna roll, so let it roll, so. Yeah, so Norris Cole gave Kyrie the business. He gave him. Kyrie didn't know why he was getting the business. He didn't understand it. Now everybody know what went down. That was 10 years ago when he was giving them the business, because nobody knew what was happening because they didn't talk because of all the power LeBron had back then. Now that power is weakening. So when he's out the league, you're going to really see how much power he don't have. People going to start speaking up. Then somebody gonna be like, yeah, I sold LeBron roids. That's all gonna come out one day. And everybody gonna be, I knew it. Everybody gonna say they knew it. That's gonna be the first thing pop out of their mouth is I knew it. Man, they know what time it is.
Who shows up at an IMAX theater at 2 in the morning to see Odyssey?
That is funny. Well, anyway, I'm gonna get a body. Oh yeah, so survivor.